Hey everyone, and welcome back to Remember This Tech. If you haven't had your head under the rock, you'll know that RAM prices, especially DDR5, SSD prices, NVMe prices are through the roof. And this is also affecting GPU prices because of memory chip shortages. So let's say you want to get your foot in the door for PC gaming, or you want a basic PC build that you can accomplish your basic everyday tasks. But you also want to do a little light gaming. So let's suppose you snagged a whole or parted out AM4 system and you got your hands on a Ryzen 5600G, which we'll be featuring in today's video. Now, this CPU features 6 core, 12 threads, and the iGPU that's on board is the Vega 7. Now, it may be a little older, but today we're going to find out if you could still get by in light gaming and maybe some AAA titles with the Vega 7 graphics iGPU only from the Ryzen 5600G. And what's better is that this AM4 platform and the CPU runs with DDR4. Bonus, yes, I know that the DDR4 prices are going up as well, and they're not really making it much anymore. But I snagged this CPU for $50 used on Marketplace. The motherboard is the MSI B550M platform. It's the VDH Pro, so it's a solid entry-level motherboard. And you can still buy these brand new. Throwing in a nice 80 cooling 410 CPU cooler, 16 gig DDR4, fast P310 Crucial 500 gig NVMe, and I'm throwing in an SSD full of games for testing on the SATA ports. So without further ado, let's get this on the open air test bench, slap it together, and get to testing, shall we? Come on, let's go! This is about as hard as it gets for an iGPU. With FSR 3 and 3rd gen on, the Ryzen 5600G actually holds around the mid-30s. It's not perfect. There's still some softness and occasional dips, but the fact that this is playable at all in an integrated graphics is honestly impressive. Red Dead Redemption 2 is still brutal, but it stays right around 30 FPS with decent consistency. Lows are stable, and once you're riding or exploring, it actually feels smoother than you would expect for a game this heavy. Witcher 3 Enhanced 1080p medium with FSR 2. This one's a mixed bag. It runs, but clearly it's pushing the limits here. It's playable for slower exploration, but at this resolution you can feel the engine strain, especially in towns and combat. Atomfall really surprised me the most. Average FPS looks fine, but the frame pacing tells a different story. There are occasional hard dips, which you'd want to tune out with lower settings if you're actually playing this long term. Good averages, bad poor 1%, and poor 0.1% lows here. But the fact that it can play it at all is amazing. Fallout 4 runs exactly how you expect on this hardware, very playable, but not flawless. Once you lock settings and avoid heavy mods, it's a solid experience. Skyrim is a great example of why older engines still shine on integrated graphics. This runs well, feels smooth, and honestly looks great without needing aggressive upscaling.
Hello? You! Over here, please, I need help. Please, I'm not sure I'll make it on my own. Thank Kinnereth for you, stranger. I'd almost given up hope of walking away from here. We tracked a bear to this den. Good coin for those pelts. We had the big sow cornered when they showed up. 3 of them, out of nowhere. Spriggans. I may have lost a drop or 2 of blood. Truth is, I'm not going anywhere like this. Hurts to breathe. Thank you. Please hurry. Much better. Thanks, friend. I wouldn't have lasted much longer without that. But now what? I can't just walk away, not with my friends' bodies in there being torn apart by those beasts. You'd do that for a stranger? I don't know what to say. Lead on, I suppose.
Are you a priest?
GTA 5 is still one of the best running open world games on low-end hardware. It's smooth, stable, and easily playable with no tricks required. CS2 1080p high. If you're into esports title, this is where the 5600G really shines. Triple digits FPS averages. Notwithstanding the fact that I suck at these games and have to play bot matches, but that's besides the point. Half-Life 2 is running on the 5600G's Vega 7 graphics at 1080p medium settings, and performance here is insanely smooth, averaging over 200 FPS with strong minimums and no noticeable stutter. This is a perfect example of how well older optimized games still run on integrated graphics in 2026.
Christ, what are these things?
Now, on Left 4 Dead 2, another Source Engine classic that still holds up incredibly well today. This is running at 1080p on very high to high settings, and performance is rock solid, averaging well over 120 FPS with minimums staying high even during intense zombie hordes. Explosions, smoke, chaos everywhere, and the system barely breaks a sweat. This is the kind of game that proves you don't need crazy hardware to have a smooth, high refresh rate experience in 2026.
So that's why I'm feeling so goddamn lucky. Nice! How'd they have this in a cage already? Heads up!
So if you're still waiting out for the prices to drop for NVMe's, DDR5, on the latest platforms, then this Ryzen 5600G system makes a lot of sense in today's market. You won't max everything out when you're playing it, and yes, you're going to need a lot of help from FSR 2 and 3, but it's amazing that this CPU supports that. But you can still play real games and play them today, and that's honestly more than most people expect from an integrated graphics unit like the Vega 7. Yes, it's long in the tooth, but it still works and still does the job if you temper your expectations. What surprised me wasn't just the FPS, but just how surprisingly usable this setup actually is in 2026. From classic PC games to modern titles even, the Ryzen 5600G still holds its own, and it makes PC gaming available for an entry-level build when you can kind of wait out your time. Maybe the market will drop, or maybe you just don't have the funds at this time. Or maybe you don't even care about those high-end titles. Maybe you just want a system that works, gets you by, has enough power, and once in a while, you want to play a game, and this system might still fit your bill. keep in mind, I'm not saying this is going to replace, you know, a high-end graphics card, 2070 Super, 5060, you know, RTX 5060, anything like that. It's not what it's intended for. The AM4 platform is kind of still holding on and still having a resurgence. In fact, right now, because of DDR4, and DDR5 is just through the roof, and that's part of it. So if you found this content useful or helpful in any way or entertaining, drop a like, comment below if you're still rocking this system or something like it, or even older or newer. So thanks for watching. Remember this tech.